How you doing, everybody? Beerman here with some Medieval Dynasty. Today, I'm going to take you on a complete guide of how to farm. In a previous video I did of farming in my Let's Play, I did some automation and people were asking questions and saying, hey, you skipped a bunch of things. So today, we're going to go from zero to hero when it comes to farming. Yes, I know that sounds corny, but you get what I mean. So let's jump right in and figure this out together. So the first thing you want to do when you set up your new house and you go to farm, here, if you take a look on our map, you can see it's the first year, it's day 2, it's spring, but I'd highly recommend you do not do any farming. Take a year. Get yourself settled in, get some things established before you ever start farming. Because if you notice, we've only got a limited amount of coins. Now I've got 493 because I went and I sold some stuff. But when it comes to buying fertilizers and seed, you may not have much money and you may need to buy other things. So definitely wait to year 2. So I'm going to jump ahead and get to year 2 and see you then. Here we are. Year 2, spring, fantastic, and of course, it's raining. But things to know: year 2 is spring is the best time of year to plant. Why is that? Because every single seed you can sow, except for rye, you can plant in the spring. So let's get started and get ourselves a 4x4 field of each kind of seed that we can plant. And we will get started with that. To start, we need a hoe, which is simple. We can just use, as you can see, 1 log, 5 sticks, go in here, boom. We now have a hoe. Laying down your farms is as easy as going to buildings, picking farming, and picking fields. Things to remember: the fields for farming always point to one of the north, south, east, and west locations. You can't choose that. You cannot spin them. You can't rotate them, unlike houses in any way, shape, or form. Which is actually pretty cool, because if you decided you wanted to lay out your village, you can, in fact, put that down. And then if you take your hammer and put it in and you put it on destroy, you could see where you've laid it out. And then if you wanted to align a house, let's say, to that, it'll help you line it up nice and simple. So, because I'm so close to this, you can't see it. But, and the other thing to remember is that it costs nothing to create a field or destroy it, so you don't lose anything. You just put them out there and you're good to go. Okay, so let's start. We need to put up some farms and, farming and fields. Let's get started. Okay, let's put in 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you look down at the bottom, you can see the field is 1x4. And now it is 4x4. And that's it. Now you got yourself a nice simple field. And you can continue to do that. I'm going to lay them all out, and then we will get started. Right, there you have it. We have 8 fields to cover the 8 different types of plants we will be planting today. There is a 9th one, which is the rye. We can plant that in the autumn, so it doesn't matter. But we might be able to use another crop to do that. Now, next, once you've got all of your fields laid out, you can go to your management tab here, and you go into farms, and you can see that you've got 8 fields laid out. You can even customize the name if you want to, which we won't do yet until we realize which plant, which seed we're going to sow in each. And if you look at the top, you could see the different types of seeds you can sow. Now, next, like I said, let's get ourselves our, let's see, where is it? Our hoe. And in case you don't know what I just did, middle mouse button brings up this wheel, and then you can select your quick tools, or you can press the number 5 if you have it in the 5 slot. Right. Okay. To hoe, it's nice and simple. You just walk up to a field, see it says not grubbed up. You click on it. Oh, sorry. I forgot to equip it. Boom. It's grubbed up. Now, we just need to grub up all these fields, and then I'll bring it back when that's all done. All right, before I finish, I want to show you a few things. I've nearly grubbed up everything. Thing to pay attention to is each field. If you hit N, go to which is management, go to your farms, double click on each field. You will see the status of it. When you've missed something in the grubbing up, it'll have that color. So if we look at field 1, there it is. You can see, oops, I've now missed it and everything else is unfertilized. If we go to field 1, which is this field, I don't know which one I've not done, but if you hit your left alt, look at that. You can see that right there is not grubbed up. Come over here, boom, they are all now grubbed up. Now, when it comes to fertilizer, there's 2 different ways you can acquire fertilizer. There you can find the vendor here in Bralnica. You can see Nadar. He is the guy who sells seeding stuff. If we go in here,
goods of the highest quality.
You can see you can buy fertilizer. And I think that's 7.5 per fertilizer. It gets quite expensive until you can get a point where you can use diplomacy and reduce the prices. But that takes a while. But early game, that's going to be your only choice. Sell things, get enough money, get the fertilizer. Later in game, you can use a barn to create your own, and I'll go through that later on in the video. Next, we need to fertilize everything. That's a lot of work, but it's nice and simple. We go to hit our Q, go to handcrafting, and we make a simple bag, which is just 3 leather. Boom. Done. Next, we will equip that bag by going into our tools here and put that on our 6 key. And there it is. Boom. Now, we need to equip, right click, and then go to field. And then we want to load fertilizer. I have none on my, let me go grab some and I'll load it. Okay, here we are. Right click when you're holding the bag, click field, click fertilizer, and bam, you are now ready to fertilize. Once again, hold down your left alt button and you can see I just need to left click on it and it's now all, that one is fertilized. Let me just go through and do it. One thing I'll tell you is that if you start doing this and then move and it looks like you wasted it, you didn't. It just knows that you've moved off and you won't. Okay, so your numbers didn't go down. Right, let me go through and fertilize this whole field. All these fields. Okay, I'm nearly done with my fertilizing, but I wanted to show you once again that you can do something similar on the fields when it comes to being fertilized. Look at that. That means it's now just unplowed or unsown, I think it is. Yep. And if we go to here, you can see, oh, actually, yeah, it's just unplowed. This means it's unfertilized. We can go to field number 1, which is this one, hit down the left and look for the one that is unfertilized. There it is. Boom. And fertilize that baby. Fantastic. Good. Now, let's, it's time to hoe once again. So I'm going to get in there and hoe all this. And as you can see, that's what it needs. Let me get in to do that and I'll bring you back when that's all done. All right, there you go. We have all of our fields sown, not sown, hoed once again. If we take a look at our fields, they are in the status of unsown. So we've got the plowed, they've all been plowed once again. And now we just need to get some seeds down there. I'll show you what it looks like from above. So there you go. You can see all the fields. They're nicely plowed. Sorry about the fog. I can't help it. It's raining, but it looks pretty cool. We've got 8 fields. Next up, we have to go get some seeds, which means we need to head into town. And in this instance, where I am located right here, I'm going to go to Rolnica because there is a vendor there. There are 3 vendors on the original map, which is what I'm playing on, called the Valley, I believe it's called. And on the new Oxbow map, there are 2. I'll put a little chart or something up on the screen so you guys can know. But let me head into town and I will buy us some seeds. Okay, you can tell who the vendor is that you need to see. When you hold down the left alt button, you can see that guy has a little, looks like a feather next to his name and a little bag. That's Nadar. He is one of the guys who sells all the seeds. So we just go up to him. Hey, there we go. Show me your wares. And you can see. All right, that's a lot of noise. All the seeds you can buy. You can also buy stone sickles and all sorts of things from him. Now that we have all our seeds, have a look here. You can see there's all of our seeds. We can get to planting each one of them. It's as simple as equip your bag, right click, and then go to field. And now you can choose what you want to plant. And as you notice, each one will tell you when you can plant them and when you can harvest them. We'll go over harvesting in a bit, but let's start with wheat in this field and I'll go through and show you what it looks like when it's all done. And there we have it. All of our fields have now been sown with seeds. You look at them, you can see what is what with each field. Like field 1 is oat. If you hit N, go to your farming tab, you can look at field 1. You can see that is that's an oat indicator. You can hit that and you can rename it. So instantly you know what that is. Same with field 4, which should be wheat. Let's have a look. Wheat 4 is wheat. Hit N, field 4, customize name, and wheat it is. Boom. And the next thing to do is just wait until the right season. Again, I will put up a chart that tells you when each field will produce what. And then we come back, we'll harvest it all up. Okay, here we are in the summertime and have a look. You can see some of our crops have grown nicely. They're not all ready to harvest. If we get a closer examination, let's just get up high, take a look at that. 8 fields, all ready to rock and roll in some capacity. Let me get back into my character and I'll show you what's what. Okay, starting here with the carrots. As you can see, I'm not ready to go. Here is the flax. It says it needs a scythe. It doesn't. You can use a scythe or you can use a sickle. The oat, not ready to go. The wheat, not ready to go. Poppy, looks ready. It's not ready. Carrots, or onions, sorry. Look like carrots. Onions, ready to go. These are beetroot, not ready to go. And cabbage, one of the only ones that you can plant 2 seasons in a row and collect. Right, let's fast forward now to the autumn. Here we are in autumn, and you can see our oats are ready to go. Our wheat is ready to go. There, I think our poppies are ready to go. And beetroot's ready to go. And carrots should be ready to go. The other fields I collected. And I forgot to mention, if you fail to collect all the items in the right season for collecting them. So over here I had all my cabbage. If I did not harvest all these cabbage, they would just rot and I would get nothing the season after. So make sure you grab them all, and otherwise you'll be losing out. Again, the other thing I want to point out is that I have a stone sickle here, and you can see we walk up to the oats in this case, swing it, and it gathers oat all over the place. Same thing will go for the poppies. Okay, and there's one other one. Nope. So, oh yeah, right here, and our wheat as well. The stone sickle you can only purchase from a vendor, similar to the scythe, but eventually when you get enough workbenches, you can buy the recipe and make it yourself. And that's what we have for all the basic farming when it comes to getting it done manually. Personally, I really enjoy farming and manually doing it. There's something so relaxing about it, but you may not. You may want to have everything done for you. So let's jump in and show you what it takes to have somebody farm for you, or automation, for the lack of a better word. When it comes to getting your farming automated, the first thing you need is this right here, a farm shed. A farm shed will have a chest in it. You could put things in it, but generally speaking, everything you want to provide for your farmer, for the most part, everything he needs, he or she, will go in this resource storage right here. So you can put all your fertilizer, all your seeds, all your tools right here, and they will just automatically grab them. The other thing that you will need to remember is that unlike all the other type of workers, your farmer needs to live near your fields. If your farmer does not live near your fields, they won't be able to harvest or work the fields. It'll be too far. So their house has to be dedicated to the area where you're going to farm. When it comes time to get yourself a farmer, the thing to remember is that a level 3 farmer is the best farmer you can find in the game. If you hold down the left alt button, as you can see on Dorbowit, his farming skill, the third one in, is 3, and hence I've assigned him to the shed. In order for him to produce everything, he just needs his wooden hoe, his sickle. I put the fertilizer here and the scythe just because I think I've run out of space, but he will go through and work all the fields. The thing about fields is that you can manage what your farmer does at each field. If you click N, which is the management tab, double click on a field. In this case, we'll go to this one, which is beetroot. You go to this tab over here, you could see what is being assigned. If you wanted to change it, you can click clear, right? And we can now assign a different one. This is all of your, oh, actually, it looks like that was onions. All of your different assignments. I can click that. And then I can now just drag and drop, and it's cabbage. And he will do cabbage instead of the onions. And that's just one way you can manage it. Whatever you plant first, he will keep doing until you change the assignment. But it's a good way if you wanted to rotate your crops and use the same fields rather than having multiple fields. The other thing to remember is that when it's time to make fertilizer, you can make fertilizer by grabbing some rot. Let's see, do I have rot? I do. Right here, except you can go over to your little workbench. This is the barn, by the way, in case you were wondering. You can go over your little workbench. You can go and craft fertilizer, which is 10 rot to every 1 bag of fertilizer. Eventually, you can get manure. which comes from pigs. If you take a look here, I have a pig. That is Mrs. Bruce now. She lives here. She produces a lot of manure. And if you look, there it is. I happen to have somebody taking charge of cleaning this up, but you can manually just collect it if you wanted to. I have a whole bunch of manure, I believe, stored in my resource container here. Let me go grab some. Okay, so we have manure in my pockets now. We head back over to the barn, and we can now craft fertilizer, out of manure, just like that. Boom, done. If you don't get to the point where you can raise pigs and get all the manure, you can build yourself a little compost bin. Chucking stuff in the compost bin, as you can see here, I have 330 rot because I chucked some old meat in there that I didn't need anymore, a couple other things, and now it just turns into rot. I can grab that rot, take it over here, and I can turn it into manure fertilizer. It's great stuff. You can make more seeds out of wheat and things like that. Let me grab some and I'll show you. Okay, so in this instance, on the threshing floor of the barn, I have some oat in my inventory. If I click craft oat grain, let's have a look first before so I could show you. So in here, I have oat. I have no oat seeds or anything like that. If I click that, click oat grain craft, it will smack it on the ground. And now you can see I have straw and oat grain. So there it is. I have oat grain, which we can use for planting more if we wanted to, or in a recipe. And we also get straw. So if we thresh all of that, we will get 9 oat grain, 9 straw, and you never have to run and pick up straw again. It's a fantastic way of getting things done. And that is it when it comes to farming. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, let me know. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. If I've forgotten something, or you have a suggestion, or you know of a tip that you can pass along to other people, also leave a comment to let people know. And so thanks for watching the video. Until the next one, I'll see you.